Hello again. Okay, I want to talk about how to release those tight glute muscles, so your butt muscles, and your lower back. So I'm going to show you some releases on the foam roller, which is this piece of equipment. You might have seen this at the gym or in a Pilates studio. I think it's a great piece of equipment. If you haven't got one of these at home, I believe it's well worth its money. Not just for you to use, my toddler loves it, playing around with it, and my other half does too. So especially releasing muscles, it's just a really, really lovely tool. Also postnatally, if you find you're so tight across your chest here from breastfeeding, bottle feeding, pushing a buggy, carrying baby in a sling, cuddling up to baby. So these muscles can shorten. It's just a really lovely piece of equipment to open up across your chest. So what I'm going to do today is looking at those muscles that can get really, really tight during pregnancy. We've been doing loads and loads of glute work to bring stability to the area. But I find especially during night, these muscles, because they're constantly in a lengthened position if you're sleeping on your side, which you will do towards your third trimester and towards the end of your pregnancy. So it's just really important to release them before we're even thinking about strengthening them. So we're working with the foam roller. The first stretch I'm going to show you is called, well, it's really a sacral release. So your sacrum is that bony bit in your pelvis here, that little triangle. Yeah, so you've got your lower back here and then you've got your sacrum here. So I think that feels really, really lovely. You want to come to line on your back. Probably sideways, it's a bit easier. Come to line on your back. And then lift your bottom, hold on to the foam roller. Place your sacrum, so not into your lower back so that you're arching over it. So just underneath your sacrum. And then you can either just keep your feet on the floor, rocking from side to side, to adjust the position slightly. And that feels great. If you wanted to go in a bit deeper, if you find, yeah, this is nice, but I could do with a bit more, bring one leg up, then the other one, and then rock from side to side. What you're also getting here is you're massaging the top of your glutes, and that should feel really nice. Oh yeah, just a note, so some of you might have a smaller foam roller, so this is possible to do on the smaller foam roller as well. Good, so this feels great. So this is your sacral roll, yeah, really, really lovely. Bring one foot at a time back down onto the mat. Move that foam roller away. Good, coming up nice and safely rolling up through your side. Okay, let's look at releasing those glutes. So your glutes, and I know, I'm sorry I bang on about this. First muscle that wastes away with age. So you know, sometimes you see people with really long bottoms, that's their glutes that have gone. They're still there, sort of, but not really functional. And what we're going to do is we're going to work the side a bit more. So especially if you found that you got a bit of sciatica during pregnancy, this is a really, really, really good one. So we're coming to sitting on it this time. So with your bottom, then bring your hands out behind you. So I like to come onto my my fists here. Making sure you're not sinking into your chest, nice and proud throughout. What you want to do is find that point where you're on your sacrum again, maybe even a bit lower, so just above your sitting bones. Then bring one foot on top of the other knee. So this is my left side. I then lean over to my left side. What's happening here is I'm going to expose the nerves a bit more. And then I'm just rolling forwards and backwards. Oh yes, this feels good. Oh yes, I can feel one muscle attachment that's moving forwards and backwards, so that gets a nice massage here. And even if it feels a bit uncomfortable at the first to begin with, you will feel quickly how that eases off, and it just feels really good. Yeah, you can move around, play around, see what feels good. So I'm going right onto the side here, all the way down, up and down. Yeah, that feels really good. And again, you decide how much time you spend on each butt cheek. Let's go over onto the other side. So foot on top of the knee, the other knee, and then I'm leaning over to the side to expose the nerves a bit more, and then I'm rolling forwards and backwards. So for me, the left side could definitely do with a bit more. The right side feels okay. And it's these little imbalances that you might have in your muscles that become really, really obvious during pregnancy. So they might play up and show weaknesses on one side, and then you create an imbalance through your pelvis. So I'll just quickly go over that left butt cheek again. And as I said, feel free to do the same if you feel one side needs it more than the other one. Good. And yeah, that feels great. Lovely. Coming off the foam roller. The next muscle we're targeting is called your QL. And again, I don't want to make it too technical. I'm very much into my anatomy. I get very excited by it. So your QL is a muscle in your lower back. It's quite deep. So it attaches to your 12th rib, which is your floating rib, and then it attaches to your pelvis. So when we come into our into that tilt of the pelvis during pregnancy, so your center of gravity shifts, your bum is growing, and you start to arch in your lower back. What happens? This muscle is constantly shortened. And short muscles can get actually really, really tight. I'm a soft tissue therapist. And the amount of people I see who hold so much tightness in this area because they're shortening it is unbelievable, especially my pregnant clients. And then the opposite you've got when you tuck under. Again, this is a bit more your posture when you once you have your little one. So when you hold your little one, weight, baby gets heavier, you start by pushing your hips forwards, holding the weight here. And then what you're doing is you're tucking under, you're lengthening this muscle. And again, it can get so sticky and tight. Although it's long and weak, the fibers start to stick to each other. So really, really lovely release here. It feels a bit extreme. Give it a try. As always, I don't want you to feel anything that's sharp or sudden, because yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, this is all about release. So it might feel strong, it might feel full on, that's okay. Good, coming to lying on your side. So I'm going to start with my left side again. Come onto your forearm. Then bring the foam roller, and again this can be done with the shorter version as well, in between your hip and the top of your, the bottom of your rib cage, making sure you're not sinking into that shoulder, you're pushing away. Bring your top leg out in front of you, and your top hand behind your head. Good, so from here, on an out breath, I'd like you to lean into the foam roller. So what you're doing, again, you're gently massaging the side here. And then this is where it gets interesting and really good, I think. In breath, roll back. So you're rolling onto the side, slightly onto the back. And yes, I can feel this really nicely releasing. Out breath, bring it forwards. Again, obviously easy on your bum, but you feel what feels right for you. And then in breath, bring it all the way back. Out, forwards, still lifting out of that shoulder. In breath to open, out. Good. And feel free to adjust your position. So you've got that foot out on the floor so you can push up or pull yourself back again. Good. Then we're going to massage that muscle a bit further at the back. So this is really, really strong and good. So lying a bit more on your back almost. Good. So this time I'd like you to lift your bottom off and then tuck your tailbone under. Oh yes, this is good. And then release back down. So can you see what I'm doing here? So I'm also using that shoulder here, that arm pushing into the mat. I lift my bottom up and then I tuck my tailbone under to press the back of that QL muscle into the foam roller and then release. Out. And in. Good. I'm going to do that one more time. I could do this all day really, but I won't. Good. Going back down. Excellent. We're going to do the same on the other side. So I've done my left side now and I feel a huge, huge difference. I feel so much more lifted out of my hip. I've created so much more space. Yeah, for me to breathe, for baby to move. This is great. So same on the other side. Coming onto your forearm, bringing that foam roller in between your hip, and your rib cage. Then you can lengthen out that bottom leg, bring that top foot forwards, top hand behind your head. We're going to start on an out breath, roll forwards, and then in breath, roll back. So I'm not just moving from my elbow, it's my ribs. So I'm thinking about bringing my chest towards the foam roller and then rolling back, opening up my chest. Out, in, out, roll forwards. And you can do as many as feel good here. Then we're going into working the back a bit more, the aspect right here that can get so tight. Good. Top hand can come onto your knee. You want to start off by lifting your bottom and then tucking under. Good. So for example, this doesn't feel quite right, so I'm using my foot to adjust. So I'm coming up, yeah, that's better. Tucking my tailbone under, out, into release, out. I mean, this is one of these releases where you know this is so good for you. It doesn't feel like amazing, but amazing in the sense that it's all releasing. If you know what I mean. Great. Good. Come off it. So just feel the difference. It's amazing. I just feel so much more open and I feel like even the weight of my bump has shifted. It doesn't feel so much pulling me forwards anymore. I feel like I've got that length through my spine and it feels great. Thank you.